Are you eating eggs the wrong way? 5 mistakes seniors must avoid. Mistake 1. Overcooking. Eggs are called a superfood, but what if the way you cook them is slowly turning them toxic? You eat them for protein, for strength, for health, but there's one simple mistake that quietly rewinds their benefits. If you're over 60 and still cooking eggs the same way you did 20 years ago, this video is your wake-up call. Eggs are one of the most celebrated foods in nutrition, rich in protein, healthy fats, and essential vitamins. For many, they're a breakfast staple. But what most people don't realize is that how you prepare them, it determines whether eggs support your health or sabotage it. In this video, we're going to break down 5 common mistakes that can make eggs more harmful than helpful, especially for older adults whose bodies are more sensitive to inflammation, oxidation, and foodborne risk. Let's start with perhaps the most widespread error of all: overcooking your eggs. Mistake number 1. Overcooking eggs. When good turns harmful. You want a crispy edge, a browned scramble, a hard-boiled egg with a perfectly firm yolk. But the moment you cook eggs too long or at too high a temperature, you're not just changing the texture, you're changing the chemistry. Overcooked eggs go through a process called oxidation. The cholesterol in the yolk, when exposed to prolonged heat, begins to break down and form dish-oxidized cholesterol, a compound linked to subt inflammation, arterial damage, and increased heart risk, particularly in seniors. If you've ever boiled an egg so long the yolk turned greenish-gray and smelled strongly of sulfur, that's oxidation at work. That smell is hydrogen sulfide, created when sulfur in the whites reacts with iron in the yolk. While not toxic on its own, it's a beta-clear sign that nutrients have been damaged. Take Eugene, 77. For decades, he fried his eggs until the edges were crunchy and the yolks nearly solid. It was a habit. He liked the taste, but in his mid-70s, he started experiencing frequent heartburn and digestive discomfort. At first, he blamed aging. Then he learned about oxidized cholesterol and decided to change. He began soft scrambling his eggs at lower heat. Within 2 weeks, the bloating faded, his energy improved, and he still enjoyed his breakfast without the side effects. But it's not just cholesterol that suffers from overcooking. Eggs are rich in vitamin B12, folate, lutein, and zeaxanthin, nutrients vital for brain function and eye health. High heat destroys many of these nutrients, especially the delicate antioxidants. So what's the fix? Cook low and slow. Gentle heat preserves nutrition. Boil eggs only until the yolk is just set. About 9 minutes for medium eggs. Soft scramble or poach instead of frying hard. Skip the brown edges. They may taste good, but cost you long-term benefits. Martin didn't stop eating eggs, he just stopped damaging them. And that simple shift made a noticeable difference, because it's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. And your body, especially after 60, will thank you for every gentle, nutrient-preserving choice you make. Now let's move on to mistake number 2, one that still catches many people by surprise: eating raw or undercooked eggs. Mistake 2. Eating raw or undercooked eggs. There's a reason. Health experts have warned about raw eggs for decades. It's not a myth, it's a microbial minefield. Eating raw or undercooked eggs dramatically increases your risk of Salmonella infection, a dangerous type of food poisoning that can cause fever, vomiting, diarrhea, dehydration, and even hospitalization. And for older adults whose immune systems may be slower to respond, this risk is not worth the gamble. Some people assume the danger is only in restaurant buffets or sketchy kitchens. But in reality, even eggs from clean, organic farms can carry bacteria, if not properly handled or cooked. Let's talk about Sylvia, 80, who followed an online smoothie recipe that included a raw egg for extra protein. Within 24 hours, she was in the ER with severe cramps and fever. She recovered, but her body took weeks to regain strength. Here's why this matters more as you age. The immune system weakens naturally with age. Recovery takes longer, dehydration hits harder. And what may cause mild discomfort in a young adult can be dangerous in a senior. And don't forget undercooked eggs, runny whites, partially raw yolks. They may look luxurious on a brunch plate, but they carry many of the same risks. What should you do? Always cook eggs until whites are firm and yolks are no longer runny. Avoid sunny side up or poached styles unless you're 100% sure the egg is pasteurized. Avoid raw eggs in homemade sauces, salad dressings and desserts, unless using pasteurized eggs. For smoothies, use pasteurized liquid egg whites or stick to other protein sources. Rosa now enjoys her smoothies with almond butter and protein powder, and zero regrets. Eggs are powerful, nutritious, and versatile. But they must be respected. And as we age, our margin for error shrinks. So cook thoroughly, eat confidently, and never trade convenience for safety, especially when your health is on the line. Mistake. Nubs 3. Improper storage. When the fridge isn't enough. You buy fresh eggs, you store them in the fridge, you think you're safe. But eggs, especially in warmer climates or older refrigerators, are surprisingly sensitive, and improper storage can quietly turn them into a bacterial threat. Many people leave eggs out on the counter, thinking they'll settle before cooking. Others store them on the refrigerator door, convenient but unstable. Every time you open and close that door, the temperature fluctuates. Over time, that fluctuation weakens the eggshell's natural barrier and creates micro cracks invisible to the eye. And that's when bacteria, like Salmonella E, can seep in, even before you crack the shell. Take Alan, 78. He kept eggs in the door tray out of habit. One summer day, he cracked an egg and noticed an odd smell, but cooked it anyway. A few hours later, nausea hit. It took him days to recover. The culprit? Improper storage and an overlooked sign. Here's how to store eggs the right way, especially as we age. Always refrigerate eggs at or below 40 degrees Celsius, ideally in the center or back of the fridge. Keep eggs in their original carton. It protects them from absorbing odors and helps track expiration. Never store eggs in the fridge door. The temperature swings too much. Check for cracks or strange smells before cooking, even if the egg looks clean. Bonus tip. If you're unsure whether an egg is fresh, place it in a bowl of water. If it sinks and lays flat, it's fresh. If it stands upright, it's older. If it floats, toss it. Donald now stores his eggs deep in the fridge and always does the water test. Simple change, huge peace of mind. Eggs are delicate. Your gut health is precious. And after 60, your resilience to foodborne illness isn't what it once was. So store smart. Stay safe, because freshness doesn't just come from the store, it comes from what you do after you get home. Mistake. Number 4, bad food combinations. When healthy turns harmful. You eat eggs with toast, bacon, maybe even cheese or milk. Sounds like a typical breakfast, right? But certain combinations can quietly cancel out the nutrients in eggs, or worse, create digestive stress that affects your entire system. Eggs are packed with protein and fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. But when combined with heavy, greasy meats or high-sugar refined carbs, their absorption gets disrupted. Instead of fueling your body, they sit heavy in the gut, causing bloating, inflammation, or sluggishness, especially as your digestion slows with age. Let's look at Louis, 79. He loved his morning plate: eggs, sausage, hash browns, and white toast with jam. It filled him up, but by mid-morning, he was foggy, sleepy, and constipated. It wasn't age, it was chemistry. Here's why certain combos backfire: eggs, plus bacon, pulse, buttered toast. too much saturated fat, and sluggish digestion and cholesterol overload. Eggs plus milk plus cheese. Excess animal fat, harder for liver and gallbladder to process in older adults. Eggs plus fruit juice. Acid plus protein, clash, bloating and impaired absorption. So what should you eat? With eggs, pair with fiber-rich vegetables like spinach, tomato, or avocado. Use whole grain toast with olive oil instead of butter. Add herbs like turmeric or black pepper for extra anti-inflammatory support. Drink warm water or herbal tea instead of juice. Walter made the switch. He kept the eggs, added sautéed greens, swapped sausage for avocado, and skipped the juice. Within a week, his energy improved, his digestion felt lighter, and he finally stopped blaming his age. Because sometimes it's not the food, it's the pairing. Eggs are a nutritional gift, but they're also chemically sensitive. And as your body gets older, digestion becomes a symphony, one where balance matters more than ever. Eat wisely, combine gently, and let your meals work with you, not against you. Mistake 5. Eating eggs at the wrong time, when your body isn't ready. Eggs are often hailed as the perfect food, but even perfect foods can fail you if eaten at the wrong time. Timing matters, and as we age, our digestive system doesn't work like it used to. What we eat, and as when seeds we eat it, can either support our energy or sabotage it. Take Victor, 81. He started eating boiled eggs late at night, thinking it was a healthier snack than cookies or chips. But soon he began waking up with indigestion, bloating, and a tight chest. His sleep suffered, his mornings felt heavy. He didn't connect the dots until his doctor asked one question. What do you eat before bed? Here's the truth. Eggs are best eaten when your digestive fire is strongest, usually in the morning or early afternoon. Why? Eggs are high in protein and fat, which take longer to digest. At night, your body begins to slow down, preparing for rest, not digestion. Late-night protein can interfere with sleep hormones like melatonin, disrupting deep sleep. It may also cause acid reflux, especially in seniors with weakened digestion. On the other hand, skipping eggs in the morning and eating them only in the evening misses out on their best benefits, like stable energy, better focus, and balanced blood sugar throughout the day. What can you do? Enjoy eggs for breakfast or lunch. When your body is primed to digest and absorb nutrients, avoid eating them within 9 to 3 hours before bed. Pair with light, digestible foods, not heavy meats or oils. Listen to your body. If eggs leave you feeling sluggish, adjust the timing, not just the portion. Harold switched his eggs to breakfast with sautéed spinach and whole grain toast. His digestion improved, his sleep returned, his mornings felt sharper. Because sometimes it's not about what you eat, it's about what your body is most ready to receive it. And after 60, timing becomes a form of wisdom. Use it to your advantage. How many eggs should you eat after 60? Finding the right balance. Eggs are often praised for their high-quality protein, brain-boosting choline, and eye-protecting antioxidants. But one question still confuses many seniors. How many eggs is too many? Let's clear the confusion. For most healthy adults over 60, up to 6 to 7 eggs per week is not only safe, it can be beneficial. That's because newer studies have shown that moderate egg consumption does not raise heart disease risk in healthy individuals. In fact, eggs can support muscle maintenance, especially important as we lose muscle mass with age. Provide choline, crucial for brain function and memory. Deliver keen lutein and zeaxanthin, which help protect aging eyes from macular degeneration. However, individual health status matters. Let's take Edith, 84. She has well-managed cholesterol and eats 1 egg every other day with veggies. Her doctor encourages it, but her husband, 86, has a history of heart issues. He limits his whole egg intake to 3 per week and uses egg whites in omelettes to lower cholesterol load. So how do you know your limit if you're healthy, active, and have normal cholesterol? 1 egg per day is likely fine. If you have high LDL cholesterol or heart disease, aim for 2 whole eggs per week and supplement with egg whites. Always balance eggs with fiber-rich vegetables, healthy fats like olive oil, and whole grains to keep your overall meal heart-friendly. And remember, quality matters. Choose pasture-raised or organic eggs. When possible, they have better omega-3 content and lower inflammatory markers. Gloria says it best: "I don't fear eggs, I respect them. 1 a day keeps me sharp, steady, and satisfied." So don't ditch eggs because of outdated fear. Just eat them wisely, in moderation, and with awareness of your body's unique needs. Because in aging, balance is everything. Eggs are not the enemy, but like many powerful foods, they come with responsibility. For adults over 60, the key isn't cutting eggs out, it's cutting out the dumb mistakes around how we eat them. Overcooking, undercooking, storing them wrong, mixing them with the wrong foods, eating them at the wrong time. These aren't small errors. They shape how well your body absorbs nutrients, how much inflammation you create, and how you feel after every bite. But the good news, every mistake is easily fixable. When you slow down and make thoughtful changes, like cooking eggs gently, eating them earlier in the day, storing them properly, and choosing the right pairings, you don't just digest better, you age better. So don't fear eggs, understand them, use them wisely, and let them fuel the strongest, sharpest, most vital version of you. Because aging well isn't about eating less, it's about eating smarter, and your breakfast is the best place to begin. If you found the tips in this video helpful, don't hesitate to like the video, share it with your friends and family, especially those caring for their elderly loved one. Comment below with your questions, thoughts, or concerns. I read and value every single one. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss upcoming videos, where I'll continue to walk with you on the journey of senior healthcare with compassion, clarity, and science-based advice. 1 click from you can bring a big change to an entire family.